Hello people, GOTW Nimbod here again. I have a 2v2 battle that was actually a really good game that I had with HOS Luke on my left hand side, and we were facing Titans Mohammed and Greek Kleo. So as you know, I mean, Greek Kleo and Titans Mohammed, both very established 31k players. Luke, a very established 15k CWB player and a decent 31k player in himself. So we have Rome Macedon against Greece and Seleucid, which I think is a very, very, very interesting game in terms of faction choice at 31k in 2v2s. So yeah, for me, I really like playing Rome against Seleucid at 31k. I think that anybody that doesn't get a couple of archers, even if it's just two against the Seleucid pikes, is foolish, because archers can really do some good damage. I thought Luke was actually going to take a couple more cav than he did, because he typically takes more cavalry in games in general. So I was thinking that I would be a little bit stronger on my flank should we have any altercations with the Seleucid cav. But entering the game, saw his cav and saw his army, and realised that this game has to be played very tactically. So as you can see, I've set my infantry formation up as two lines of 4 urban cohorts and 2 in front, and the 2 in front are literally just to stop anything that pushes forward, so that these guys can get pilot off, and just to take any pilot that's going to come forward from the Silver Shield legionaries. And yeah, I'm confident these guys can hold up whilst I use my archers to the utmost that they can possibly give. As you can see on the opposite side, I mean, Titans Mohammed has far more archers than I had anticipated that he would have. So he's got 6 Cretan, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he's got 7 Cretan archers there and 1 in front. So Luke's got 2 Cretan archers on his side. So yeah, all in all, wasn't really expecting that. It kind of threw a big spanner in the works when the game started. So I'm going to start from my point of view, because I want to kind of say what I was doing whilst the battle commences. So obviously at the start I decided I better run my urban cohorts forward, because I want them to take any initial archer fire from any of the Cretan archers, so that I can deplete as much ammo as I can. Right now I've had a look at the fact that he's got so many Cretan archers, and I thought I'd better spread these wide. As soon as there's so many Cretan archers, I'm going to spread them wide. I'm going to bring my cav out to the side, because my cav are gold 2 chevrons, I might add as well. So I'm not actually that scared of the cataphracts, and I'm not that scared of the scarf chariots, because I can shoot them down. So I've moved my army forward, because I can take, like I said, I can take any archer fire that's coming in from them and not lose too much. So I've moved them forward just so that the Macedonian pikes aren't getting hit initially. As you can see, yeah, Cleomenes has decided to spread his archers across both of their battle lines, and I think he was definitely correct to do so. Luke said before this game started, I'll give you 2 pikes just to make sure that you don't get charged too hard by the cataphracts or anything like that. So at this point, yeah, I can see the cataphracts moving forward, and I'm happy to engage these guys. You know, I can bring my herbs across if I have to, and yeah, I mean, I can have a really good fight, especially seeing as I have 2 chevrons. 2 chevron Roman cav can have a really good scrap with cataphracts, the gold in 1 chevron. So yeah, I've lined up like this. I've decided to move my archers out, and I'm shooting things down. They've opted to switch things around. They want the Greek infantry to fight my Roman infantry, and I think that's totally fair enough, because yeah, like everybody knows that Spartans do particularly well versus urban cohorts, especially when they're bunched up in the way that Mohammed's got his battle lines bunched up. So let's have a look on Luke's side. He looks a little bit closer to his battle commencing. He's decided to stick his stuff in phalanx formation. If anything, he could have rushed these forward, seeing as Cleomenes has decided to stick his infantry in Testudo. If Luke had pushed forward there and denied the piler, might have been a bit more beneficial to Luke. and especially seeing as he was as closer to his inf, I don't think the archers would be doing such good damage as to what they're doing to his units at the moment. So as you can see, he's losing men across, especially his front units. And I stated in previous videos, when long range pikes lose their numbers advantage, they do a lot worse. So as you can see on this flank, I'm starting to use these archers against these archers here, and eventually I decide that actually it's not necessarily as worth shooting these as it is worth taking the hit points off of the Spartans that I'm facing in front of me. So yeah, I'm backed up by 2 royal pikes, which could do absolute wonders for me, especially on my right hand flank if I don't allow these guys to get engaged too hard. And then we've got Luke now, who's moving his infantry in, because Luke's royal pikes will certainly beat the Seleucid pikes if he moves them in, and they'll do very, very well against the Silver Shield Legionaries, although the Silver Shield Legionaries will do well at holding these guys up and also tiring them out. So we'll have a look at Luke's infantry right now, and we'll see how he's opting to have a look at this battle. Yeah, let's move across here. I decided to move my army back because obviously I want to skirmish these Spartans. I don't want to give away any of these herbs for free. I want to take some hit points off before I start getting piloting. Luke's obviously operating across the battlefield, so he's a little bit slow to move his infantry back, but he doesn't do anything wrong in terms of what he's done. I see that I need to move my cav across, because these cataphracts could really go in and devastate the royal pikemen. But I do have, on this hand side, I do have my archers firing in on these guys, which is quite beneficial. They are in skirmish mode, and I do imagine right now that I'm moving them away, but in recollection I do remember them possibly getting caught, as my herbs are getting caught here ever so slightly. Yeah, I charged my cavalry in, and sometimes a cavalry unit like there, sometimes they just get caught in, even though you don't want them to get caught in, they get caught in, just like these herbs. So look, I've lost a fair amount of herbs there due to Mohammed's push, which is a pretty good push, and now I'm about to lose these archers. So yeah, all in all, I didn't get to use my archer auxiliary the way I wanted to use them at all. But let's look at the battle from this perspective. If I engage these Spartans, my herbs are going to die, so I need to get them out of here. And I also have a Praetorian cav that I completely lost, just purely due to them getting caught up in the original kerfuffle. Luke now should be moving his stuff out, but obviously he's doing stuff on this side that is panicking him, and I've also just got my cavalry caught there by Spartans, which is the last thing you ever want in a Rome versus Greece battle. But I'm moving my stuff back here, and I've also got my cav in here, and I've routed a unit of the Greeks, which is just a Cretan archer, but I've also got my cav now. They're charging in on the Cretans here, and they're going to do a significant amount of damage, and they're going to take the Cretans out. So Luke's engaged quite well. I've got my Roman army stationed up pretty well for the Greek Spartans, but I really still don't want to engage at this point. I want to use my Praetorian cavalry to the utmost effect, and Luke has just taken a huge hit to his companion cav. Not as huge as they could be, but yeah, my Praetorian cav doing massive work here, just using the low morale of the Silver Shield pikemen just to rout them out. And I'm expecting his infantry to charge in here, and yeah, look, as you can see, my cav charging in here. I thought that I would have got a rout in here, but yeah, I think I could have done with Luke's companion cavalry just coming in and clearing these guys up. So I have to run through these guys at the moment, because yeah, I was worried about a lot of pikes taking my stuff out. So very, very messy start to the game, but all in all actually quite enjoyable. And yeah, I'm running stuff off here, so a mistake from me keeping that one unit of cav chasing stuff off. I should have things in here to clear up the Seli infantry, and then we should have stuff to essentially clear up everything here that Luke's doing. I should have really be charging my Praetorian cav into there, although I have got a unit of the Silver Shield pikemen facing back. So well played from Cleomenes just to hold his stuff up there, because you can see that there's a mass rout ensuing. But yeah, my herbs are sitting out as it is, and it's kind of the way that I want my herbs to be anyway, because you don't want them fighting the Spartans too often. The long shield pikes are the best way to tire out the Spartans and, you know, whittle down the hit points and get us going essentially. So yeah, I'm doing the correct thing, and I'm looking to flank. These cataphracts know that they can't charge my herbs. I mean, they can, and I stopped my herbs there just for a second because I saw a wedge possibly coming in. But Cleomenes, just by nature, isn't a very aggressive player. He tends to play upon mistakes as opposed to play aggressively, whereas Mohammed tends to play aggressively and look for the flanks of each team that he's playing against. So at this point, I think I'm wasting a lot of energy with my Praetorian Cav, and I don't think I should be doing so. I'm causing slight nightmares for the Greek army because they need to form up against what I'm doing. What Luke needs to do right now is form up his infantry himself. Like, these infantry here should just be kind of just holding in here and just causing a little bit of a mare for the Spartans. But yeah, I'm charging these because Seleucid has been routing so much. I thought I might be able to nick that unit, and I didn't quite get it, and I actually suffered 2 unit routes from that charge. So not the best decision for me, but I can see the rationale behind it. So Luke's army actually looks quite well formed up, annoyingly formed up just for a group of Spartans. The Seleucid infantry is completely wiped out for the most part, apart from 60 silver shield pikes there. My herbs are fresh. The Spartans are winded and warmed up, and to be honest, I should be moving here right now. I should be doing it just so that Luke can use his stuff in a block to move towards there. I can get my cav formed up, and we can look to cause some damage. But Spartans in this situation, backed up by cataphracts, is certainly a very strong force and something to be reckoned with. So let's see how I use my infantry here. Obviously I can see that they're looking to tilt round, so it's Luke's job now just to hold up those Spartans and allow me to use my inf to possibly get an advantage on one of the flanks. And his long shield pikes, they will lose in the long run, but what he needs to do is essentially just hold this stuff up, and he's lining them up quite well, so I can't complain there. At this point I decide, yeah, I better charge a considerable amount of herbs, just to hold these guys up so that they can't pivot around and they can't get as defensive as they'd like to be. A bit of a poor use of cataphracts there from Cleomenes. His are winded, my cav are tired, and that says a lot, but Luke's cav are warmed up, so I think we beat these cav on that right hand side of our armies. But all in all, yeah, pretty scary for both sides at the moment. I don't think we're as strong as we'd like to be. But yeah, I went for a slight charge there, and I moved my cav back just in time with one cav to get caught, which is a bit unfortunate. If that cav didn't get caught, I think we'd be in a lot better of a position. But yeah, that does happen, not just at 31k but at 15k these days. I do find that cavalry seems to be a little bit harder to control, maybe because I'm slightly out of practice, but also just I seem to think that the servers don't work as well these days. So as you can see, I've got a massive bunch of herbs fighting these Spartans here, and I've also got the surround, so I'm feeling quite confident. But I also do see these cataphracts there, so I'm moving my herbs in here so they can just charge and they can just move forward and stop the charge of these cataphracts there. So yeah, they move forward, they stop a charge of that unit tremendously. But yeah, 2 of my herbs, unfortunately, even though they're warmed up, they rout, and that is the start of a chain rout, unfortunately, across this flank. I think Luke's general possibly should have just been in there just to back up my herbs, and would have been in a lot better of a position because these guys were doing quite well. But as you can see, all in all, pretty good battle. I mean, the Spartans are beating the Royal Pikemen. There's no surprise there, unless the Royal Pikemen are particularly stationed well within themselves. Yeah, good flank from Luke there, and a good charge to get on the Spartans, but they're looking pretty confident. And now it's just a case, I'm trying to just use my archers any way possible to frighten the Spartans, and I can imagine that Luke's shooting these Spartans here to whittle down the hit points, and yeah, look to get a kind of leg in front in the battle. But as you can see, I think at this point we're looking like we're struggling quite a bit. I'm unsure what to do with my urbans overall. I don't want them to get flanked or anything like that. And now my general goes. So yeah, it's been a bit messy overall, and it goes to show the power of the Spartans essentially in 31k. I was kind of hoping at this point that we'd be able to utilise our archers and Luke's infantry, to just come in here and hold up, and we could essentially just shoot these down to the point that we could fight. But yeah, these herbs, I mean, they're not going to hold too much longer, and yeah, I decided to correctly charge the Silver Shield pikemen because I thought they might rout, but they didn't, and now there's a chain rout on my side. So all in all, very good team play from Kleo and Mohammed. And as far as me and Luke goes, I mean, we could have certainly won the game. I could have used my infantry better. I think Luke could have used his infantry better to maybe protect my flank. But yeah, we can't really complain. We're playing against two very good 31k players. So yeah, all in all, I think it was a competitive battle. I think that there's not necessarily a stronger side when you look at Macedon, Rome versus Seli, Greece. I mean, Seli's got better cav than Rome, but Rome has better infantry, and Greece just has the most elite infantry in the game. You can see that reflected by Mohammed's kills. So all in all, good game. Played against two very good players, two very experienced 31k players, and yeah, I look forward to playing them again, and I'm sure me and Luke will possibly get some games against those, or some Titans games in the future. So yeah, if you enjoyed, it's very late at night, I think it's going to be my last upload. If you enjoyed, yeah, give us a thumbs up, give us a comment. If there's anything you think I could have done better in the game, let me know. I'm more than open to criticism. And yeah, I hope you have a good day, and I hope you enjoyed watching. Cheers.